Well, I was just going to start by talking about how production quality has gone through the roof with this, what is now known as a podcast. And we have been listening to what people have said. I don't know who runs our account. I'm thinking it's you, but I know we're getting back to the comments on YouTube, and he's telling me about those. We've had a lot of people who
leave more comments.
Yeah,
leave more comments.
Subscribe, maybe.
Yeah, lots of subscriptions.
Really?
Smash that like
button. 60.
Smash the like button. Hey, this is Pete. All you people who said, "Oh man, they need a moderator. They need someone before they say something."
We brought
crazy.
our mentoring.
Yeah, they need a father figure. So we one-upped you. We brought on a grandfather figure, who's Pete. Pete, why don't you introduce yourself? How do we all know each other?
I'm Jake's grandfather. Yeah.
Grandpa Pete.
Grandpa, yeah. No, my name's Pete. I've been training with you guys for coming up on 3 years.
Really?
Builder of gyms.
Yeah.
Build some gyms.
Builder of sprinters.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it, huh? Did we just sum Pete's whole entire...
I think you painted a building or something.
Yeah, once or twice.
Pete wears glasses. Pete likes long walks.
Quiet walks.
Long, quiet walks.
Holding hands with myself.
Jeez. You train, what, 80% Muay Thai?
Correct.
20% Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, I did take a break in Jiu-Jitsu, and I regret that. But at the same time, I feel the second time going back into it, a lot more, not overwhelmed. Kind of knowing what I'm going to get into, a little bit rejuvenated. It did get overwhelming, and striking is a little bit easier. Now I kind of know what I'm getting into. It's a lot more fun. This go around.
Did it help that you came into the fundamentals class?
Yes. Yeah. Like Wyatt's class has been great.
Nice.
It's one series of moves, very simple, really easy to memorize. When you leave the mat, you're like, okay, I can recite that in my head. Before, sometimes I get overwhelmed and try to do too much, too fast, and then it's tricky.
So the fundamental curriculum is like fundamental.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. And it sounds like Mike Prosser needs to know that Pete thinks that Muay Thai and striking is easier than Jiu-Jitsu.
It's checkers versus chess.
Oh, no. Oh, dude, yeah. Mike's going to tune you up.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
I love it. Okay.
But that's why Jiu-Jitsu has so many of these, like, fighting nerds. Because it's so cerebral. Like, part of it is, like, physical. But if you're strategizing and planning, that's a whole different aspect of it, you know? Yeah. Like me, I don't do that. It's just like what comes. I'm not doing too many steps like advanced, but I think that a lot of people like it because of that aspect.
We had a bunch of people send questions again, and we're going to go ahead and we'll do it. We'll answer these questions. Maybe we could answer some of the inappropriate ones and just bleep them. Are any of you guys good at, do you know how to bleep? Maybe we'll do some bleeping.
We'll like blur our mouths too, so you can't formulate the words.
All
For
right.
those of you who are lip readers out there.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So, first one, and to be honest, I don't even really know what this means all the way, but talk about training myths versus reality. So, you know, I'll go first if you guys don't have anything to throw right out there, but when I hear that or see that, training myths versus reality, it kind of makes me think about like, okay, so is what you guys are doing in this place realistic, or is it something that, you know, you're telling your students, well, this works every time, or this always works, or do this if you get in a fight, but realistically maybe it won't work? Or like when you see something in a movie and it's like, I wonder if that would work, you know, versus a real martial art. In here, we don't teach anything that isn't effective. So if we drill it in here, if we coach it, if we train it, it's something that works on the mats, and yes, it's also going to work off of the mats. We try to incorporate as much real world, you know, knowledge or application as possible. Part of why we're so big on always being on top or always staying on top is because at the end of the day, this is a self-defense, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, etc. And if you're learning and prioritizing like pulling guard, falling onto your back, that's going to work on the mats really, really well. then you might do it for the first time instinctively on concrete or something in a self-defense situation and like immediately injure yourself. Like when people come in here from other gyms and they break fall and their arms are way out here. I've been shown break falls by so many different people over X period of time. I'm a big believer that the break fall should be low and by the hips, judo style, because you don't always, your timing's not always perfect, especially if you're not like in your jujitsu gym. Someone pushes you, you go to break fall. If you're used to break falling way out here and you break fall a little too early, you're falling on those arms, shoulders, jacking everything up right out the gate. If you get used to break falling a little bit lower, that's never going to happen. There's like little things like that. But I don't really know what, I have no big training myths popping out to me, so I'll pass the torch.
I would think that the training, well, I don't know that jiu-jitsu working or not working is a myth, but I'll say that practically all other martial arts really are more of a presentation versus like a real thing that actually is for self-defense. Typically, that's why all the people in UFC are various degrees of jiu-jitsu versus karate or whatever, right? I would say a myth would be, there's so many myths, like the coach is going to steal your girlfriend, or if your girlfriend trains jiu-jitsu. Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady.
You guys are so much more well-informed than I am with this stuff. It's crazy.
What else? You're basically sitting on other dudes, like pelvic regions are in like touching often. Very true. You're like strapped onto someone's back, basically. You know, so unsettling positions to start out. Within a week, it's very typical. It's normal. It's not weird. If you're a wrestler, not weird at all.
No, myth also could be. I was thinking more a little bit differently. I've seen people come in and I used to be. I think I can wrestle. Or I think I can do something. Then they come in here and they get smashed. Or if people come in, I'm too old to do this. I think that would be kind of a myth too. When reality, I mean, it's definitely harder as an older person, but it's not impossible. That's kind of the way I took that.
AI says that the top jiu-jitsu myths are myth 1, you have to be in great shape to start. That's false. You can be in pretty bad shape as long as you have a strong will, strong attitude, and the understanding that you're not going to be able to hang in there for all of it out the gate. It's going to take time to turn that up.
Yeah, if you don't have the conditioning to make it through class and do everything, then you better have the wherewithal to be able to be like, I'm not going to make it through, but I'm going to be present and push until I can. Because when you're here in the corner panting and everyone's doing still the warm-ups or the rounds, mentally that's pretty hard for most people. It's like, oh, like they're looking at me. So there's an inadequacy too.
Yeah.
Like, so people come in here and a 20-year-old guy who's untrained, I'll put them against our high school girls and they will beat that guy. And I do it so that the girls know what they're training for and that guy knows that why you train jiu-jitsu. But I wouldn't put him against our heavy hitter, you know?
Yeah.
That's
That was like Annalie for me. She was the first person I rolled with.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, I can.
It's making sense why he was like, I'm going to dip.
Yeah, right. But I thought I could at
go back
least
to Muay Thai.
do something against her, and it was the most humbling, humiliating thing when you can't do a single thing to protect yourself. And so, yeah, jiu-jitsu is legit, but it can be very intimidating for newer people.
Myth 2, jiu-jitsu is only for young and athletic. That seems like it's right in line with myth 1.
Yeah.
You know, you can do it at any age. You just have to have the right attitude. It's too aggressive and violent. I mean, maybe for some, if you want to make it that way. I feel like we have fun pretty much every time we train.
Yeah. I mean, you will get taken down. People will be on top of you. Like, it'll be hard to breathe sometimes. You'll be scared because you've never... You might be 40 and no one has ever held you down and not let you, like, get up or, like, breathe correctly. So that's terrifying.
Yeah, no one's tried to break your arm or choke you out.
Say I pull something in a direction it shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Man. And number 4 is you need to have a background in martial arts to start jiu-jitsu. which totally false. We actually prefer that you don't have a background in martial arts, at least around here in Yuba City. I mean, dang, stick my foot in my mouth right out the gate. Like, not trying to throw shade, but I prefer to work with people who don't have bad habits. And there are people who've been coming in lately who have like ridiculously bad habits established from, from other sports or other martial arts.
What about wrestlers?
Could say the same thing. We have wrestlers who come in that are extremely high level wrestlers, and they cannot get it in their head that they need to not stick their head in there for those takedowns and get guillotined every time. Even when they get guillotined every time, they're hard to work with. You know.
Would you prefer somebody with a wrestling background?
I would.
Okay.
Because the ones who have come in here who are trainable, and they get it, they understand. Like, oh, okay, I can be on my back. I don't have to like panic and freak out if this or this happens, and I don't need to get the takedown every time if it's landing me in a bad position. For those ones, the trainable, coachable ones, they make it so worth like weeding through the wrestlers who come in, and it might take them 3, 4, 5, 6 months before they just stop giving people guillotines. I would rather someone have wrestled like no matter what than not wrestled. Okay. So, myths, reality check. Second question, why are all your students 20 to 30? I'm assuming that they mean age. And they're not. We have over 100 students that are under the age of 14. We got the kids class. And we have, man, I don't know, how many do we have that are over 30? Maybe 50? Something like that. Yeah, we have like over 50 students who are, we call them training partners here, but who are over the age of 30. So, primary chunk of our students are between 20 and 30, and I think that that's kind of the age where you start having to find new sets of friends, family, community. You're not in school anymore, or if you are, maybe it's partially online, or everyone's living in their cell phone and screen on campus, and it's tough to find a home. You start looking, for other things, and you find something like this, and you come in, boom, there's what you were looking for, and you start training. So yeah, I mean, I think that's why it is. I think that between the ages of 20 and 30, you're looking for something meaningful. You're looking for a group, a clique, a home, and that's something we provide through jiu-jitsu, through Muay Thai. What do you guys think?
I think that that's for sure our demographic of them, a bulk of our adult students. Probably just because of we have momentum in that age group. That's who's adopting the sport, whether through Rogan or whatever other watching UFC, and probably just like the vibe that we have. We have a younger, more get active demographic in here of students, I would say.
But it's not the vibe isn't how would I put it? It's not uncomfortable for an older athlete to come in. Like, I don't feel like it's too many young people and just completely out of my league. Like, it's welcoming. So yeah, I don't.
How do you do when you spar with some of the younger guys? You can use names.
No, it's all good. I mean, they're a little bit squirrely, but I mean, it is what it is. But
squirrely,
a little bit.
So you're cool and composed. You've been here a while. You've been doing Muay Thai for a while. So.
A little over 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel it feels comforting around all the younger people too. It doesn't feel like, oh, there's that old guy. I mean, maybe they say it behind my back, but in person, everybody's nice.
We only say it when you're not wearing your hearing aids.
Yeah. I think the other older people would say the same thing too. Like, I feel like, and then most squirrely people get weeded out here.
Yeah, they do find their way out pretty quick if you're not being safe. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young. Like, you'll either hurt yourself or you'll hurt the wrong person, and then they'll hurt you. There's a natural order to it, and yeah, those guys find themselves out of here pretty quick. And that's just a lack of maturity usually, or people that are coming in here and they just want to fight. It's like, yeah, come to the MMA class. Don't come to jiu-jitsu.
I wasn't here, but someone came in and wanted to fight Mike, right? Or you too?
The only one that wanted to fight me legit was the parent of that kid. You know
Yeah,
the one I'm talking about?
there was that guy. He got
And
gym
I did.
challenged.
I went ahead and gave him what he was asking for in front of the parents.
Legit gym challenge.
Probably
No,
the
there was
wrong
some guy who
decision.
came in and had some mental disorder that he told me about, supposedly, but I wasn't here to
The guy
relay
that
it.
left the review.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what.
Were
I don't
you
know
here
how
that
that
day?
went down.
Yeah, he came in and he was like, or he left and he was like, wanted to fight Mike or something.
Dude, Mike's got better patience than me. Like I didn't know how else to resolve that situation other than just giving him what he was asking. Bro, gonna have to beep it. Didn't he have a record?
I don't know.
Wait, so what did you do?
I took him on right on over there in my people clothes.
Oh, he wanted jiu-jitsu.
Oh no, he's talking about the dad who.
Well, no, that's what I mean. But he wanted to roll jiu-jitsu with you, or he wanted.
First, he wanted to fight,
Oh.
and I was like, "Why don't you try jujitsu first?"
Yeah.
Then we end up doing like combat jits, and you know how.
Well,
it is.
how
I
this
just kinda
started.
hold him down
is,
and touch his face.
He was asking Jake like, "Oh, so who's like the real coach here?" Because I know how kids program works, and it's just like some random guy who just like runs the class. He's like, "I'm the coach. This is my gym," and then he was like, "You want to see?" or something like that.
It was weird. Yeah, he
He
was
rolled up
like
in khakis.
Yeah, he was walking around back here and stuff, being weird, and then like coaching his daughter, who was awesome and a great fit. And then he just said like, "Well, I've trained for 15 years, and I know you're not the head coach." I'm like, what a weird thing to say. Just trying to get me like riled up. And I mean, he succeeded. Like he got me out here on the mats to fight him. So that was great.
Huh.
And then he like sat there all weird after, kind of like, I don't know. He had like a moment of self-discovery, like, oh, maybe what I learned wasn't real jujitsu or something. But you can't take a word someone like that says as truth.
He's the kind of guy. He gave me the impression that his jujitsu was on like a prison, like rec room. You know what I mean? He was huffing and puffing for smokes afterwards.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, man. Like I hadn't had someone put their hands on me like that in a long time, and it turned me way up. Like, but not enough to where I was gonna do some weird stuff like in front of the parents or whatever. But they did get to see how jujitsu works, because he certainly wasn't gonna get to land anything. It was on the mats, wadded up. We'll stop when you're ready to stop. Super weird. Super weird. What were we even talking about, dude?
20 to 30 age range.
We're gonna move on because this next question makes even more sense. Have you ever had to use your jiu-jitsu skills outside of the gym in self-defense? That doesn't count. That was inside the gym. This is an interesting question. I don't like confrontation. I don't like fights. I don't like anything outside of here. I'm like, I'll stay away from it as most I can. I would say yes, I use my Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills all the time outside the gym in self-defense. Anytime I go to like a bar or a concert or whatever, people bump you, if you're in a mosh pit or whatever and someone kicks you. It's very easy if you haven't experienced like people doing this to you all the time to accidentally have that send you high alert. And now you're getting in a fight where otherwise you really didn't have to. So when you're used to people bumping you and pushing you and stuff, and it happens just literally by accident somewhere, you can let it go so easily. And I think, that's really the only way that I've had to use it. I will say shout out to Taylor Pruce. He had to use his very small amount of jiu-jitsu, and he double-legged a dude outside of a Save Mart, or maybe a Vons in San Diego, that was stealing his bike. And it like knocked the guy out. Kind of wild.
Wow. I was gonna say I had never used jujitsu because I was thinking only of like fights or self-defense. But someone stole my bike in Chico and called the cops. I went around town, all the homeless camps. I found it in downtown. I found a woman with my bike. This is a bike for a mountain bike for a 6-foot man, and she's like 5'3", just like walking the bike. And so I detained her, and I did knee on belly in like the public square. People were yelling, and she was yelling, "He's hurting me!" And people are just like honking and whatever. And I held her until the cops came.
When was this?
2019. I lived in Chico, in downtown Chico. I left my bike right outside my house in the backyard. You couldn't see it from the street.
So you just like, you pushed her down and
I found the bike.
There?
I parked my car in the middle of downtown
Oh,
Chico
no.
across from Tres Hombres. And my car was just in the street. I took the bike, and I just held her there until the cops came. Like I did the Russian like tie behind the back.
Dagestani.
Yeah, the Dagestani
handcuff.
Yeah. It was great. Most adrenaline I've ever felt in my life. Oh, and she got caught with a meth kit, and then the cops called me and they said like, "How much is the bike worth?" I said, "Oh, I don't know. It's used like 800." And they were like, "Are you sure? It looks like it has nice components and like these other parts." And they were trying to get me to bump it up over 1,000.
Whoa.
So I was like, "Oh yeah, the tires and the frame and the whatever." Like, okay, about 1,200. Yeah, sounds right. And then
See, this is where we differ. I would have been like, "That's my bike that woman's on." Then I would have called the cops, and I would have been like, "Hey, I'm looking at my bike, right?" You know what I mean? That's all right though. If you want to push them down, and
oh yeah, I got real.
would you say that? Okay, so is it
Got
safe
real
to
rough.
say? Is it safe to say, since you knew jujitsu, you didn't like crack her sternum and break her ribs and destroy her life? You just were able to maintain control.
I don't know that I would have been like violent or aggressive with her to have done that, but I knew that I could have just like restrained her like peacefully until the cops came.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pete, have you ever used jujitsu or Muay Thai outside of the gym in self-defense?
Not since joining you guys.
That's good to hear.
20 years ago, it would have been useful for you, huh?
I'm 2-0 as an adult.
Dang,
Untrained too? Nice. Imagine
I have a
now.
little bit of wrestling.
Okay.
A little bit of wrestling.
I would have never guessed. Passive Pete. That's what I have you in my phone as. It's Passive Pete.
Peaceful Pete.
Peaceful Pete. Oh, what do you type of? Why do you keep moving the kids' schedule around?
That's a good question.
Selfish convenience, obviously. No, we move the kids' schedule around because we're growing, and even though we tell people, hey, we're not signing up kids anymore, we are at a threshold, whatever. People ask, they bring their kid in, they're a good fit, we add them to the team, we keep doing it, and we have to split the kids up. Like, I mean, it just makes the most sense. The kids get more attention that way. It's extra work on the coaches. It might cost us a little bit more, you know, on the bottom line, but it's totally worth it for these guys. If you've seen any of our videos of our kids competing, training, rolling, like, they're all amazing, and they deserve more than just 50 kids on the mats, you know, for 45 minutes. Like, they deserve smaller groups, more attention, and we're giving them that by continuing to spread that kids class out. So that's why we've been doing that, and it's working. I mean, it's making them way more proficient.
It was a good match today.
Today was a great match.
Two actually.
2 great matches. Yeah. Man,
The Brothers was good.
dude.
The Brothers was good.
We started with 1 kids class. Now we have 3. It's all about the age. The instruction for the different ages matters. The matchups matters. The attention at each class matters. So we only have so many slots in the day that we can fit it in. So we're tweaking. We talk to parents. We see what works. And starting tomorrow, we're launching a 4 and a 5-year-old class at 340. So, you know, when you work that in, we can't really tinker too much with the adults class. So we got to fit it in somewhere between school and the.
Would you guys say that's the biggest challenge? Is the time slot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like almost impossible.
It's the premium time slot. My classes at night if we had all the classes at that time, it'd be great.
Yeah.
If Muay Thai was a little later and Jiu-Jitsu was a little sooner, awesome. But we have a solve for that. It's our second mat space. We're just not announcing anything official until we have something official. But
I feel like it's just such an impossible task, and there's only so many hours you can.
Yeah, it's for sure a limiting factor in offering the programs that we want and bringing the audience that we want in. You know, because we have what's established already.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Do you have to ask permission to get on and off the mats? Can I sit slouched on the mats? Can I sit slouched on the mats?
Are we slouched? I'm kind of slouched.
Can I sit slouched on the mat? That's it. Okay. Well, interesting phrasing.
You know what this is
why
about?
don't you address that one, Brian?
I know what this one's about. I've seen some videos about some traditional gyms where you have like very pronounced etiquette that you have to follow. Kind of like when you're in class and you have to ask to go to the bathroom, or you get a ruler smacked on you when you're like sitting off to the side or whatever.
Oh, Brian went to one of those schools.
Yeah. But yeah, so like that typical traditional gym will require you to like be acknowledged before you can even get on the mats. You have to bow on and off the mats, acknowledge to leave. You can't like fix your clothing on the mat. You can't sit like slouched or like relaxed. You have to be like cross-legged, like erect, I'll say, like this. And yeah, so no, we're very relaxed here, a very more modern style of etiquette, or just common sense etiquette, I would say.
Yeah, that. I don't know. I did Shotokan karate for a long time actually, maybe like 5 or 6 years or something when I was younger, and we had to bow, and I mean we had to bow all the time. It was like mass, it was a lot.
Latin mass.
Yeah, and I didn't even think of it as a kid. It was just like I just kind of got like brainwashed into the groove of like walk in, bow. They say this word, bow. They say that, bow. Higher belt, bow. But like with our kids class, when I wasn't the head kids coach, we'd gotten into the habit of bowing in, like as a group. I just kind of went with it, and then when I took over, like one of the first things I addressed was like, "Hey, do you guys know why we bow?" And it's kind of just happened because I was sitting there and I was like, "Why are we all bowing? That's bizarre." And they kind of figured it out. It's a respect thing. So I just told them they need to show respect by lining up and being quiet. They need to show respect by introducing themselves to new people to get on the mat. They need to respect the mats by not stepping on the mats with their shoes. You've got to show respect, like in all ways, when you're in a facility like this and you're all trying to train. But like I've been to a lot of churches. I've never been to a church that makes you bow. I've never been asked to bow to like at a funeral or on any of these places where you'd show high respect. So, and I didn't grow up in a jiu-jitsu gym where we bowed. For the first one I went to, we did, and we said some things in the Brazilian language, Portuguese.
Porra.
No, we said a couple things, and it felt kind of cool. It was like a cool way to bow out, But in here, first off, we have so many people that it would like take forever to move through a line of everyone saying something to everyone. I don't even like the word professor. I don't let people use it. I just smash them and tell them, don't call me coach. Don't call me professor. Just call me Jake. I'm a human. You're a human. Just because I've been doing jiu-jitsu longer you don't have to call me something special. Like,
why do you not like coach?
I coach people. I'm not a coach.
You just don't like the title.
Yeah, dude. I'm
not an
'Cause
honorific.
to me, you're.
Yeah, everybody
coach.
calls me coach, and I have to be like, hey, stop. Like, now I will say, when people call me coach, that are like, okay, Mike, my guitar teacher, calls me coach. I like that when I show up because I want to call him teacher.
Yeah.
Because he's my guitar teacher. I like that. But it's like, yes, chef. You know what I mean? Chef. Yes, chef. Like if we all.
Okay, but I grew up working in that environment too, and the yes chef it's great. I liked it as not a
Why?
chef. You need because that's a very high that environment is so dynamic and so quick. You need the confirmation of acknowledging orders and like what you're gonna do. So it works in that regard.
I think here's what I think. So when I was going to like Baker's classes, even when I didn't really know him yet, just going to Victory, no one's in a gi. No one's calling anyone coach or bowing or professor. Yet there's zero question in my mind just walking onto those mats, or for anyone else, I wonder who the leader is. I wonder who the coach is. And it's like, no, it's Craig right there. And by these 10 different things, right? In my opinion, when you come in here, you know exactly who's in charge. And there doesn't take a calling me a certain thing or bowing to me or whatever. Like, we're all respectful of each other. And yeah, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, maybe I demand a higher level of respect during rounds, and I will not let anybody get away with any kind of BS little whatever. They grab fingers or something. I'm like, I'm going to put it on you pretty hard. Like, you do that too. As a purple belt, when white belts do weird stuff with you, you make them pay for it immediately. Then you tell them, like, hey, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. It's disrespectful, right? And then it goes like full circle, because when you're training long enough, the disrespectful stuff becomes how you show respect. Like, if Craig isn't hurting me somehow with a grip or something, I almost feel disrespected. Like the D series, that's like a love language in here, But the bowing,
What about this? So, in traditional martial arts, there's the professor, there's the coach, there's the sensei, whatever, because they're not necessarily sparring and there's not such a clear, pronounced hierarchy. So you have to be the person who's at the top because that's who runs the class. But when it is a jits class and Baker will just go and demolish everybody, he doesn't need the title, the tutelage, the respect through the name, because it's so clearly obvious. So if someone came in here and beat you but called you coach after, like, oh, thanks for class, coach, and for letting me come in, you might like that more than just some random person that you just like
that happens.
Fold
yeah,
up
for sure.
Yeah. But so in that case, that person would still be acknowledging you as the coach, right?
It's the more we talk about it, the more it's making me feel like if you train someone to come in and call you coach and bow, like, they're probably also going to get trained to lose to you when you roll.
Yeah.
Because I can hold down everyone on our Polaroids, with the exception of a few. I could probably hold them down and make them call me coach if I really needed to, right? And the the ones that I couldn't would probably call me coach out of respect even after beating me, right? If we had started by having all those people call me coach, call me professor, bow, all this stuff out the gate, I bet you somehow it would translate into like this weird mindset of just not being willing to take it full throttle against their leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like the opposite. I mean, Craig deals with the same thing. Like, people go for his throat. He's just the target in the room. Like, I love that, It's fun. Keeps you on your toes. Keeps you from getting old.
Dang, I should have started earlier, I guess.
Too late.
You're aging backwards, Pete. You're doing
yeah.
good. Okay, we're going to have to beep that one, I think, a little bit. That's situation dependent. Which historical person would you most want to grapple with?
Hitler.
Why?
Because it's an iconic person. You'd want to beat him, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, you'd like grapple him to death?
Well, I mean,
what age? You talking like
baby Hitler?
10 years
Is
old?
this a baby Hitler conversation?
This is taking a dark turn. How about someone else, Brian? You can't pick the same as Pete. But Pete, we appreciate your mindset.
Abraham Lincoln was like a grappler. He was like 150 and like 3 or something.
Wasn't he really
and he's like
big,
6'6" or something.
Yeah.
So he's probably like a really good fighter for his for his time.
You gonna use the twist move?
Just throw me in there, yeah. Just throw me in there now with like modern jits. I think that'd be
okay. Ooh, this gives me like a whole new perspective on this question, because this question didn't really excite me. I couldn't think of anybody. But it would be fun to like grapple someone who was at the peak of a sport, but like before the sport evolved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't think of anyone specifically. Or like grappling Bruce Lee. You know what I mean?
What about like Lou Ferrigno or something like
yeah, grappling Lou Ferrigno. Like grappling someone who was prominent in their sport. I don't know though, man. I think Bruce Lee's probably a legend. Who's
the patriarch of the Gracie? What's his name?
You put me on the spot like that?
The Gracie that's in all the gyms, like the Idol. Helio.
Yeah.
Helio. Because he obviously formulated the sport but that was like 100 years ago. And he was a small
yeah. Even as just like a fun match, that would be the coolest, to be able to say I got to roll with him. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Now, aren't those guys like kind of the origins of no-gi? I've heard that, and I'm not.
I think they're the origins of all of it,
Yeah.
even if it was more.
I heard one of them talking about getting into fights at the beach, and they'd be in swimmies, and so they couldn't grab anything.
That's when you grab
Swimmies?
into
What are
it.
swimmies?
Swimmies.
Can you translate for us? What's swimmies?
I use swimmies also.
Yeah. Swimmies.
Moving on. What's next for the gym?
What's next for the gym?
Dude, I made it clear. I'm not gonna say until I have it for sure, but maybe I'll give some hints. We will have 2 mat spaces that are nice, like this, and hopefully men's and women's locker rooms, bathrooms, showers, and a weight room and recovery area. So that's what's next. Whether that's 4 months from now or a year from now, I don't know. And we don't have a for sure thing with the buildings that we're looking at. It's all kind of up in the air. But yeah, we have too many people for this space. We're still growing. We're still, increasing performance and coaching, etc. But it does leave some of us here all day, every day, to teach those different time slots. So yeah, facility's gonna grow, like, straightforward. What are the best moves for big guys? Pete, what are the best moves for big guys?
I was gonna say the grab that I won't
The
say.
twist?
Yeah. I don't know.
In Muay Thai,
10% battery.
What are the best moves for big guys in Muay Thai?
Getting close.
Yeah?
Getting close. So they can't use the length and strength.
A lot of the big guys in here have a hard time with guillotines. They get to the position easily, but their arm is big and they have a hard time under the chin. My favorite thing to show big guys is snapping down for the guillotine, then taking the underhook and using that to set up foot sweeps or throws. And it's funny because once they get it, even if they've only been training for like 2 weeks, they tend to hit it on most people. That and snap downs, snapping down for the takedown rather than shooting or rushing in on something and maybe losing ground that way. But man, that's a tough one. It really depends on the athleticism of your big guy and also what you mean by big guy. When I hear big guy, I'm picturing like maybe a really high weight to height ratio, big. But if you're talking about big, just like a generally big guy, super fit big guy, I mean, everything works. Like everything works. But I would prefer, I prefer for my bigger guys to be on top just like everyone else. But yeah, arm bars on top. Arm triangles are great for big guys. Man, it all works, like whether you're big or small. Yeah, for very robust guys, best first moves, snap downs, learning to set up guillotines and turn them into good takedowns. Like, can't get really much more in depth than that without knowing, more about you. Talk about the saucy texts y'all get. There's an apostrophe in y'all, whoever sent that. The saucy texts. We do get a lot of saucy texts.
Wait, are they talking about the sauce?
No,
text?
they're talking about
like saucy.
They're talking about the text now numbers that send us the empty threats and stuff.
About the sauce?
Oh, we have had some about the sauce.
Yeah.
Huh? You got one about the sauce. By the sauce, we're talking about steroids. Tell us about your saucy sauce text.
For 1 week, we got a whole bunch of people just texting different numbers, asking us if we're affiliated, do you have affiliation with steroids or something like that? And then for the kids program, and then how it's related, and
For the kids program, it was like, dude, I know exactly what it was. I can't remember what gym they went to, because I know the coaches at all the gyms, and they seem pretty nice. So I tend to not believe that things are being said behind my back. But we had someone who said, hey, I went to the gym in the mall, right? Which there's only one, which is Ground Up. And I asked about you, and they said you got liver cancer from doing steroids, and you give steroids to the kids there too. Pretty sweet. And then we wonder why, like, they tell their students that if they come to our open mat, they're not allowed back at that gym. Very strange. did not get liver cancer from steroids, have never given steroids to kids. Those are both myths. So,
Jiu-jitsu myths.
yeah, that's a weird one. Did that person ever come in?
Your kids take some steroids.
Yeah, here you go, guys. Yeah, I don't know, man. That stuff's like pretty annoying because it's a small town. We get a lot of texts, and it could be one person. It could even be someone that trains with us. We don't know who it is, but we get a lot of texts that seem very similar, and they're just like empty threats or just trying to start beef or whatever. And we're assuming that it's just some like teenager or something, but it is annoying. You are annoying us. If you're listening to this, you're annoying us. So good job if that was your goal. I don't really want to get in depth on any of the saucy texts. I think that's probably good enough. We gave one good clear example that sucks. Talk about handsome blue belt. It just says handsome blue belt.
HANSUM.
Handsome blue belt.
I know who this is.
Should we say his name? I think I know who it is.
Is he bald? He's balding, right? Super young.
It's Mikey Lasagna.
Oh.
Shout out to Mikey Lasagna. Lasagna. Lasagna?
I thought he would be in for Thanksgiving. Came back.
No, Mikey Lasagna.
Mikey Lasagna. Would you consider, is he conventionally attractive? Is he handsome? That's gonna be a.
Meh.
That's probably gonna be a no. We can do a vote though. We could post a bunch of pictures of Mikey and just have a handsome button. You know.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll do that for you, Mikey. We miss you. We love you. We hope you're doing good. We did hear that you came in to an open mat and like started pulling guard a lot, which if you want to switch up like that, that's cool. But you know the rules. Only pull guard if you're gonna do something cool with it. So. Also heard he's coming back for Christmas for a little while, so we'll see you in here. Man, all right, I'm gonna call that good on questions because these questions suck. You guys can do better.
Phone's about to die too, so
Oh,
if
is
you
it?
got to wrap in case
Dang.
we lose it.
We'll cut this last bit out and throw it up as a blurb, a little clip. But for December, if you train at GB Yuba City, which is on, do you know the address?
Don't know the address, but I know what it's next to.
Okay. If you train at GB Yuba City, which is on Bridge Street, we are on Pelora. All of our kids classes, Muay Thai classes, and the Monday, Wednesday, Friday Jiu-Jitsu classes, which I teach and run, those are free to you all the way. You don't have to sign anything but a liability waiver. We don't need your Instagram, your phone number, none of that. It's totally free. We're not going to try to sign you up. We won't even give you rates. We're just trying to, broaden the jiu-jitsu community and the cross-training vibe and just kind of let everyone know exactly who we are and what we're about. There is no real way to show you that without you being here. So yeah, check the schedule, take a look. I will post on the story at least every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to remind you guys. And I will let your coaches know as well, so hopefully they tell you to. Should be a good time. So
I'll throw a question in there. How come we don't have a discounted group rate for the Asian massage parlor over there?
dude, I haven't gone over there. I see
You had it in. They offered you lifetime massages.
there's something
You
about
had to
that.
protect them though.
There's something about that makes me feel like maybe there's something scandalous going on.
Yeah, that's a trap. That's a honeypot if I ever saw one.